Yo Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're all doing well. We've made it to the Oceania Champions League, and we squeaked in. Just managed to get it, so we just about managed to get second place at the right time. And we're going to be playing in our group, in Group A, Amicale, Bar, and the Tahiti City Dwellers. So a few of these teams we've played before. I don't think there's anyone in there that's going to cause us too much of a problem. Group B is AS Magenta, who made the Real World Finals this year. Lurtaha Apai, who I think we played before and beaten. Marist Fire, I don't think I've seen before. And Team Wellington, so from New Zealand. Then in Group C there's Madang FC, Nadi, Tetaroa from Tahiti, and Tupapa Marirenga, which I think is an optimistic pronunciation. That's where our player Tawangara came from, our big giant target man. And then in Group D we've got Auckland City, Hain. Oh, I can never say it. I want to say Haingegi, but that's completely wrong. It's Haingeni Sport or Gene Sport, who are the current champions, who beat Magenta in the final with this kind of 60-yard meter. I don't know which one, but he was from far. Sort of lob of the keeper. It was the only goal the player had never scored before in the OCL for them. Just lobbed the keeper. It's a nice looking goal. But they're the current real world champions, but they're not actually that much of a threat within setup. And then there's the Solomon Warriors and Tafia. I think if I had to predict, it's going to be us, maybe the Tahiti City Dwellers from our group. Magenta and Team Wellington, I think, will come from Group B. Tetaroa, and maybe it could be anyone's game after that, maybe Tupapa. And then I imagine Auckland City and either Sport or the Warriors. That might be a bit tighter. I don't think we're going to get any favours with the draws. I think all the strong teams are going to get through. It's going to be a tough one, I think, this year, although we have recently beaten Tetaroa, which is good. Did we recently beat Tetaroa? I think we did. Destroyed them in the league recently. It's been a day or two since I played. So this is how we line up. Dallowin, Spearling, Andre and Waite. Sova, because Lamb's still injured. Huck, Makasina and McIntyre. Smith, and then up front we've got Jared and Yannin. Cormac's going to be kind of rotated into play here. Pons has got a light injury, so hopefully he'll come back soon. We've got plenty to play on the left. We'll bring Lam in when we can. We've got Zoran, the new central defender, who can come in here too. So we can rotate hopefully. So if we go ahead soon enough, if we win the first couple of games and qualify with ease, then hopefully we can rest. We don't need to worry too much about resting, because I think we're in the first round. So groups A and B play the first week or two, then groups C and D play the next couple of weeks. So we should have a week or two's sort of grace before we have to worry about any of the knockout rounds. Go on, wait. Andre. There we go. Nice start. I don't think they're going to put up much of a fight. I think I'm going to skip some of the replays because I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of goals. And I want to try and get everything into one episode. If you want to replay it, just pause and go back and look at it. Again, it wasn't that special. It was alright. I am kind of hoping we get to the stage where we do play a team from New Zealand, because I want to see what our tactics going to be like against them. Go on, Dallowin. Gerard with his back to goal. Sova. Penalty, yeah. Down like a sack of spuds. Never really understood why you get replays for penalties when you score them. Wait, putting away. Set piece specialist. So I think these aren't the most tense of matches. And that's the real problem with the OCL, is that the standard of our league is that much higher now of everywhere else, bar Gerard, bar New Zealand, that the group stage is kind of a formality unless you've got one of the teams from New Zealand in there. I think the first time we were in the OCL we didn't concede a single goal. We have had 2 teams from Tahiti or French Polynesia win it as well. So we've had the Eels were the first, they got their big payday, and then Taha also got their big payday afterwards. So it's not an impossible ask to win the OCL. It's just been impossible for us. So we've either missed out or just crashed out at the wrong moment, or had that, final issue that we had. The away goals. Lots of turning, lots of spinning. Marquesas onto it there. Optimistic, flapped a little bit that one. So yeah, if you've been watching any of the past 5 to 10 videos, and you've asked a question and I've not addressed it in a video, that's because I'm recording ahead of time because I'm going away. I'm actually away a lot over the next kind of week and a half, so I'm away at the weekend for a wedding, not mine, and I'm away the following week for a conference. So I'm off to Finland, which would be interesting. It just means I'm actually probably only around for 2 or 3 days over the next week and a half. I'm not going to have any time to record, so I'm trying to get everything uploaded and in and on, so there's not too much of a delay. And also I'm really enjoying the season, which is weird because even though it's potentially going in, there we go. I think I'll make some subs. Okay, no one's on a hat trick, so no one's going to get upset. Bring on Bar and Tangara, McCormick, Andre. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the season. So even though it might be the kind of final season, or if we do somehow win the OCL, it might be Gerard. It might be our kind of penultimate season because we might want to play in the Club World Championship. I think if that happened, I'd keep that season quite short and sweet in terms of the videos. But even though we might be leaving quite soon, our time with the Humpbacks might be coming to a close, proceed with those changes. We've recovered from the poor start and just been playing really well. I'm quite pleased with the tactic. Like the tactic that I've used is by no means is it some kind of original tactic. 4-4-2 tactics in FM19 are quite effective. So 2 strikers, there we go, Tamangara, are they're pretty effective in this match engine. The high pressing style, high engagement, the counter press is all pretty effective regardless of the level that you're at. It's a little bit, I don't want to say overpowered, but it is a little bit. So those things work. And then what I've done is with my tactic, I've looked at a few other tactics around. So I've looked at the kind of the really effective ones you can see on like either on Steam or on the Sports Interactive forums, or that some of the YouTubers have been using, and had a look at some of the instructions, some of the kind of the rules. I also looked at the Creating a Tactics series on Team Busquets. I can never say it right. No, we don't need to see this one again. So yeah, I've been looking at that, and I also looked at Bust the Net, or Rashidi's series about moving into channels, creating space. He's got the Stalybridge series where he creates tactics, and they're all really good for just looking at some of the instructions that might work well together. Because to be honest, as much as I love the tactical kind of interface and the module, bugger, made all our subs. So yeah, as much as I love using it and creating stuff, I've actually mainly focused on very football tactics. Because in all the other previous saves I've done, as well as this one, those are the kind of tactics that I've gone for. So it's been interesting to try and use different combinations. But there we go. There wasn't much commentary on the match because we lost it. 7-0 is nothing to be ashamed of there. I'm going to pause here and come back for the next match. Okay, so we're back against Tahiti City Dwellers. Amicali and Bar have also played other games, so currently Amicali have got 3 points after 2. I think technically Tahiti City Dwellers could go top if they beat us in this game, but they're not going to beat us, I don't think. Got a few tired players, a few players with knocks, but nothing horrific. Got 2 wingers. Actually not playing on the wing. Apparently we could secure a qualification finals, which I think we can, yeah. Blah. There we go. So yeah, because the most I think it's Amicale can finish on is 6 points because they've got 1 game left. Bar, I think, are out of it. Well, in terms of finishing top, be out of it, and then I think the best they can do is match any team on 3 points. But because of the way it'll work, yeah, I can't remember what the permutations are, but basically they're probably most definitely out of qualification. And with Tahiti City Dwellers as well, they're on 1 point, so in theory they could go above us if they won. But if we win, that leaves them with 4 points they can get maximum. So nobody can overturn our 6 points, basically. Even if we lose the final game, I think. But I think I've established throughout this kind of series that my maths is terrible. What was that? That was a weird kind of... I'm not going to show it again, but I think basically Yanin gave it the slightest of flicks they had no idea about. Oh, no, Gerard did. And then Yanin managed to get onto it before anyone else did. So we won the first match 7-0, expecting something quite similar, to be honest. Even our centre-backs are getting involved in the moves. Server's got a knock, but can't really tell. That's one of the things I should notice. The way Server just ran on there is because we've got look for the overlap, as well as him being on as a wing-back. Back defender, wing-back support. So he's not on wing-back attack. But that overlap's really effective. Just give us, like, we do get a lot more crosses in, I think. Or it feels like we get a lot more crosses. Not necessarily compared to the hoofball, because we had a bit of wing play in the hoofball as well, but just a lot more than I expected the tactic to manage. But I think it is because of that overlap. Recovered. Oh, cynical. I think they'll have to send him off for that one, won't they? No? Okay. Yanin was just using him, just toying with him. 31st goal of the season. Safe to say I'm going to try and use this tactic wherever I end up next. Not using it internationally though with Marquesa. Something different, and that seems to be working too. I don't know what Wade was doing. I think he just wanted to get involved. He set up 3 and scored 1 in the last game, so you know he's got a taste for it. Yanin's got away. Mosses gets 1. It's his 7th of the season. He's not doing terrible considering he's just a winger. Or a wide midfielder now under this tactic. See, I think I mentioned before, I've taken inspiration from other tactics. It was made from offside. 26th goal, he's 5 behind Yanin. But it's kind of inspired by the others, built from scratch, but using similar instructions to a few different ones that are out there. So I think there's one called the Flying Arrow, the Flying Dart, and Booed FM. There's a version of it called the Volcano that he's done a video on, so it's got some of the instructions that are similar to that, I think. I looked at the forums as well, so there's people like Urosla and Nap who've created tactics, and I've looked at some of their instructions and roles. So there's a few similarities here and there, but it is kind of different. I've tried to keep it relatively, I don't know why I let that replay go on. But there are some things I didn't want to do, not because I think they're bad things tactically, but I think maybe they're not as realistic. So I think there's a Nap tactic where there are 2 Mazalas, which obviously works for their tactic, but I don't know if you would actually have a 4-4-2 with 2 Mazalas, like in a real footballing sense. I don't know if you would have that. It felt too much like exploiting. So I've got 1 Mazala, and then a central midfielder on support instead. Almost trickle through. So 7 goals after 45 minutes. This video might be a bit long now because of all these goals. Do you know? Terrible thing. Depending on how long these ones run, because the first half's about 10 minutes. I mean, the first match we played is about 10 minutes. Carries on for about 6 minutes now. We'll see how it goes. Very pleased. Let's bring on Overlay and McCormick. So after this match, if we have qualification in the bag, I might just show you the result of the final match, because it's not going to matter, and it might just be another route. Just show you selectively some of the goals from that, because it's not going to be much different. Yanin or Gerard could have had that. Yanin left it for Gerard. It was nice, sharing out the goals. And again, I'm watching it, but I did say I wasn't going to look at the plays. I think around the 70th, or no, maybe even early, I need to take server off probably. Lamb should be back soon. It should make a massive difference, but... Can Zoran play on the left? I could bring Zoran on and put Huck over, because Huck can play on the left. No? According to that, I thought he could. I would like to take Yanin off, because he's got his hat-trick, and give Gerard the opportunity. Also feels like that might be a reckless substitution, considering Server's condition. I'm sure Huck could play on the left. I'm sure I've seen, like, not as a wing back, but as a DLC. Yeah, offside. You not learnt from watching Dallowin of Halle? Stay on side, you'll get all the goals. 35 shots there, 5. Feel a little bit sorry for the Tahiti dwellers, and with 8-0 that should make it the highest scoreline, or the biggest scoreline we've had. Kind of disappointed we've only scored 1 goal in the second half. Right, there we go. Let's have a look at the table after this and see if we get any news items about whether we're through or not. We've qualified for the quarterfinal because I guess we have Bar left. So if Bar won, they'd be on 4. Carle won, they would be on 6. Yeah, so no one can overtake us. I'm not going to show you the Bar match, I'll just show you the results from that in a second or two, just so you can see. Right, so we're back. Just played the last match against Bar because it was dead rubber. For us, anyway, less so for them, but for us, we only won 3-1, and we conceded a goal, which hurt. It was a bit of a freak goal. We also had a goal ruled out, and we missed a penalty. But we did have a very rotated team. I think we had a goalkeeper, left back, right back, and a central defender who were the only ones who were, playing on a regular. And I guess Sova's injured and not really our left back of choice. So 3-1 is okay. A bit disappointed we didn't do better, but honestly can't complain too much when we've finished with 9, and Amicale are the ones who have crept through that as well. See all the groups. Wellington, they've got a match to play, but Team Wellington are through. I just call Group B Wellington because that's what it is. So it's between Marist, Fire, and it's theirs to lose. So all they need to do is draw their next match. And they should be through because they beat Magenta. I can't remember who the last match is, but could well be Marist, Fire going through there. But I'm going to end the episode here. Thanks for watching. Sorry if it's been a little bit long, but we have scored 18 goals and conceded 1. 15 of those were in the matches I recorded. So I hope you enjoyed those. Team's going full guns, and we'll be back for some league action or the Mutiny Trophy. Well, I probably could play Chance and Chance in the final in the same, because currently, games being played whilst being away, Chance have crept above us. It's a 3-way race currently between us, Chance and Tetaroa. So we'll come back for that in a little while. Thanks very much for watching.